that should be good enough for now. So we'll just go with it. All right.
All right.
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Hello, this is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to another Lumen Stock Car Invitational race, season number 4, race number 22. We are getting down towards the end of this thing, and we are here at the Talladega Superspeedway, the biggest, baddest oval around. 2.66 miles, quite a contrast from last week at Mansfield, but just like Mansfield, we are expecting a little bit of chaos here at Talladega. It's a very well-known racetrack. It's a very infamous racetrack for a lot of the teams, and it's had some very interesting races here in LSCI in the past. And no co-commentator knows that better than the one I've got with me today, Darian Arnsdorf. Darian, you called last year's race rather, and there are two trends with LSCI at Talladega, and that is first-time winners and a surprising lack of carnage. Do you think either of those two trends are going to stay today?
I feel like the first time winners trend is definitely one that will more than likely stay. Now, will it happen today? Who knows? But Talladega, Daytona, places like this are known with the plate style of racing to really give an opportunity to those who may not have the fastest car normally to come up here and pull out an upset win. So that's definitely something I could see happening here today. On the carnage front, it's difficult to really estimate that because I've seen it as much as you have. Obviously, with me commentating last year's race and other things I've commentated at Talladega, um, you don't really typically see that amount of carnage you would expect normally, which is odd. But who knows? Maybe that trend will change here today at Talladega and LCI.
Now, in terms of the championship, of course, the championship has been pretty much over from the drop. Tim Berry has been slipping as of late, but he does have quite a significant points lead. But if there's any track that would throw a wild card into this seemingly over championship battle, it would be this one. Tim Berry is currently 92 points up on his teammate Corbin Taps and 96 points up on his other teammate Tyler Landry. So, do we think that maybe those other two McPickey cars don't think the championship is over yet? Do you think they could try and take advantage of the more unpredictable nature of Talladega? I mean, we saw Tim Berry blow an engine from the middle of the pack here last year. What do you think? What do you think this race will do in terms of the championship battle?
If this is a massive if Tim Berry does in fact have an issue here today, it could actually be a problem. But that's only if those other two McPickey cars can get up there and steal the win in the end, which I'm not saying is impossible. I'm just saying with it being Talladega, it's a lot less likely than it is likely, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
Corbin Taps in the 16 is one of the best super speedway racers in LSCI, but he's going to be starting pretty far back. In fact, your pole sitter here today is the 50 of Jacob Lopez, who has not necessarily done the best on super speedways, but he's put that Motor Racing Ventures number 50 up on the front row. And of course, Motor Racing Ventures have had some very fast qualifying pace on the super speedways, so it's not surprising on that front, although this was a group qualifying session instead of a single car one, so bit of a different way to get it this time. And alongside him is the 77 car of JT Boyd. Row number 2 is the 45 of James Harvin looking for his first career win. He's one of those first-time winners that you might want to watch out for in this race. 24 car Cooper Spur starts alongside him. Row number 3, Laurie Jackson in the 9, and Jake Sidney, your Lumen 500 winner, starting in row 3. Row number 4, the 92 of Kate Summers and the 29 of JB Chanot. All of the Columbia Motorsports cars are running their Alani Nu paint schemes this week, kind of like how they all ran their Mobil 1 paint schemes last year at this race. So a lot of colorful Columbia Motorsports cars here today. Then we've got the 3 car of George Bryan alongside the 27 of Adrian Pearson. Isabella Fitzmaurice is back for her 3rd and final race this season. Alongside her is the 39 of Laken Herndon. Then we've got the 79 car of Kobe Hollenbeck alongside the 81 of Jack Gino. Kia Tajima in the 99 alongside the 52 of Ashley Blake. Number 2, that's Nathan Buchanan in the car this week, and the 66 of Tyler Landry in the same row as him. Then you've got the 40 car of Adrian Wheeler alongside the 88 of Billy Smith, who is another one of our better super speedway racers. Karina Willis Calloway in the 41 alongside the 58 of Joanna Clark, who won last week's race at Mansfield and is quickly proving to be one of the rising stars of the series. Damon Curry in the 13, another one of our better super speedway racers, alongside the 11 of Tim Berry, your points leader. Starting right behind him is Lulu Connie in the 42 and the 16 of Corbin Taps. Tamarin Bellinger in the 65 alongside the 6 of Holly Martin. And in the back row, 2 of the Streamline Racing cars that barely made the race. Simon Lawrenson is back. Of course, Lawrenson was the driver that won in the 78 car for Streamline Racing back in the first Talladega race, so he's pretty much got a free ride for this race every year from this team. He's in the 70 car this week. Andrew Kreider is in the 78 UCF car. Then you've got the 18 of Zach Dearman and the 8 of Darren Walker, the 1 of Kevin DuPont, and the 85 of Charlie McCarron. So all 3 of the Motor Racing Ventures cars had to take points provisionals. And rounding out the field is the 57 of Shauna Everett. We had 6 D&Qs for this race, a 41 car entry list, the largest one outside of Daytona, and we had some surprising D&Qs in there. Montana Sherman D&Q'd his first race ever. Cheryl Simmons D&Q'd the Double Eagle Racing car, which, I mean, if you've seen what Double Eagle Racing has done, that is a bit of a shock. That's the first time that's ever happened. Jamie McJasmine, Ellie Adams, Michael Harbin also failed the race, but the big one here, Vinnie Scholes in the 62 started all 89 LSCI races before this one, but she couldn't make the field this time due to the low owner points of the 62 and the large field attempting to make the race. Vinnie Scholes will not be racing at Talladega today, and that means Charlie McCarron is now the only one that's run every race and not one. That's not really how Vinnie wanted to get herself off of that stat, but she technically did, I guess. But yeah, no Vinnie Scholes today, so that's going to be a big surprise not seeing her in the field. So not quite as crazy as like Watkins Glen in terms of D&Qs, but still a lot of interesting drivers missing the race. But it's going to be a 38 lap race here today, a lot shorter than Daytona, but we will still have one pit cycle, whether that's under green or under caution. We'll see. We might get a wreck, we might not. We might get the big one, we might not. We haven't really gotten the big one from Talladega yet in this race, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. It's still Talladega. It's still definitely in the cards.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off of the Talladega backstretch. Darian, this is probably one of the toughest races to ask you this question, but I'm going to do it. Who do you think's going to win the race at Talladega?
Man, you know, you could pick a name out of a hat and it'd probably have the same amount of chance as me getting this pick right. But I'm actually going to go with someone. Normally, I pick someone outside the top 20 here at a place like Daytona Talladega. This year, I'm going with someone starting in the top 5. I'm going with the 19, Jake Sidney, to get the win here today at Talladega.
Good pick. He did win the Lumen 500, our last restrictor plate race. So he knows, that he can get it done here. That 19 is going to be a threat here today. The pace car is going to pull off into the pit lane. It's going to be the 50 car of Jacob Lopez and the 77 of JT Boyd going through the tri-oval. They are going to lead the field to the green. And we are underway here at Talladega Superspeedway. We are 4 wide in turn 1 on the first lap.
Oh no!
Lori Jackson getting dropped on the outside. JB Chanot forced it 4 wide on the inside. The Motor Racing Ventures duo are going to exit turn 2 with the race lead, but if that's the kind of aggressive move that we're going to see on lap 1, just imagine the kinds of moves we're going to see on lap 38.
This is not a good sign for the rest of the day. Might I say, if we're already going 4 wide on lap number 1, you see the 29 Chanot being pushed by the number 27 on the
Adrian
inside
Pearson.
line. Oh, yeah, Adrian Pearson, yep. And then Chanot down on the inside, going to try and take second place away from Adrian Wheeler.
And we got
No,
three.
I'm sorry, that's James Harden. I'm sorry.
We got 3 of the Columbia cars up here inside the top 5. Again, they're all sponsored by Alani News, so they've got all the colorful schemes that they've been running all throughout the season. And Chanot and Hollenbeck are going to try and work together to pass Jacob Lopez, who did lead the first lap. Kate Summers on the inside, alongside the 19 of Jake Sidney and the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway. And here we go for the race lead. JB Chanot and the number 29, who has not won since the Season 2 Lumen 500, which was also on a plate track. Trying to get win number 2 here for Columbia Motorsports. Jake Sidney's going to force it 3 wide underneath the 92. And he's going to bring Karina Willis-Callaway and the 13 of Damon Kirby with him. Sidney's going to look to the inside, but for how long? Here comes the 41. This is a cycle race here, if I've ever seen one, early in the event. And Karina Willis-Callaway is going to get pushed to the lead by Damon Kirby.
Kirby on the inside being pushed by Corbin Taps. Taps now going to look to the inside. Might go 3 wide for the lead here down in the turn number 3. No. Willis-Callaway able to clear now here. Yep, here we go. Ashley Blake, what a move by her. And behind her, Joanna Clark in the 58, looking for 3 wins in a really short stretch.
Can you imagine this? Joanna Clark getting win number 3 for Diamond Motorsports, but she's not going to hold on to third for very long. Here comes Jared Walker and Adrian Wheeler down on the inside. Positions are swapping like crazy here at Talladega, and that is typical of the early part of this race. However, once we get further into it, some of our faster cars are going to find their way up to the front and stay there. We are 4 wide in the back. That could end up being an accident, but it looks like they're going to keep it together for now. And I can't even hardly see where the 4 wide is. Oh my goodness. Lori Jackson was able to funnel it back down to 3 wide. Tim Barry's in the back of this pack, although that might not be the worst thing for him, because then he could get on the brake and avoid it. But the wreck might happen right next to him, because he's about to go 4 wide. And once again, they funnel it down to 3, checking to see if anyone has lost the draft. Holly Martin in the 6 car appears to be off the pace. But everybody else is still in the pack here, as Karina Willis-Callaway has kept the lead. Charlie McCarron in second, now going to try and make the move with the fellow Honda, Tamarin Bellinger, pushing her to the front.
Tamarin Bellinger, really impressive to see them up here, especially considering, it's always been Joanna Clark leading the way with Diamond Motorsports this season.
Look out!
Oh, no!
Down the back straightaway, several cars around. Walker, Kreider, Kirby, Ashley Blake, Joanna Clark. And I believe that's it. Caution is out on lap number 5. Racing back to the line. Charlie McCarron is leading them. Shauna Everett's going to try and take second. And we said this race not really known for carnage here in LSCI, but lap number 5, we've already got an accident.
Oh, man. I think I saw one car absolutely floor it through that accident. I believe it was the 6.
I think it was the 6 who was just off of the pack. Oh, man.
That was insanely bold from Holly Martin, if that was the 6, in fact.
Damon Kirby is out of the race after his good performance at Daytona, and it looks like his teammate Holly Martin was also involved in that. Oh, be careful. Don't run into each other. And they run into each other under caution. Oh.
Oh, man.
Even more damage for the 8 and the 79, and they get the 50 involved as well. That does happen sometimes here. Not very frequently, but that is something to watch out for. And that's probably going to end the days of both Walker and Hollenbeck, who were already involved in the accident.
Ah, man, that just came out of nowhere. It feels like I was not expecting that.
Do we have split strategy here at the front? It looks like we do. McCarron's going to stay out, but the 57 of Shauna Everett's going to come in. Very interesting. These guys still have to make it on one more pit stop if they pit here, but maybe... Yeah, fuel only pit stops for them, topping off here on lap number 6.
I don't really understand because if I'm not mistaken, fuel went about 25 laps here at Talladega, so
It's pretty
you're
similar
gonna
to
have to
how it
save
is.
quite a lot.
It's pretty similar to how it is at Daytona, so yeah, they should not be able to make it from here. So interesting calls to take some splash and goes for these guys. So that's going to shake up the running order. Of course, some of them are pitting for damage repair, like the 50 and the 9, the 79, the 52. Joanna Clark's going to come back out, but we'll see how fast she ends up being. But that is going to shake things up here at the front. Charlie McCarron is still the leader, though. Tamarin Bellinger second, Cooper Spur third. It's an all-Honda top 3, but not really the Hondas you expect to see up here. And McCarron had to start at the back in this race, so the fact that she's already in first is very impressive. This could be a car that we have to watch out for later on in this race, but first caution of the day happening on lap number 5. We're going to show you what happened, and then we'll get back to the restart at Talladega. First caution of the race, lap number 5, Billy Smith in the middle of 4 wide, washes up into the 9 of Lori Jackson and the 52 of Ashley Blake. Walker gets into the wall. Clark goes around. Kirby goes spinning. Kreider runs into the 13 and the 8s. And there you see the 6 of Holly Martin just going straight through the wreck, Ricky Bobby style. But yeah, that definitely took out a handful of cars. Kobe Hollenbeck also got a piece in the 79. And that might be the biggest wreck that we've seen at Talladega and LSCI, but that only involved about 7 or 8 cars. Not really the big one that we're used to, but still a pretty decent-sized wreck here on lap number 5. And definitely going to take out a lot of contenders early in the race.
Yeah, you just see 4 wide doesn't. I mean, it works, but when you get too close, it just results in carnage. And again, just Holly Martin just flies through there. Unbelievable stuff from her to just go through that. But yeah, just unfortunate things, all things considered. 7, 8 cars involved, not entirely sure how many. The decently sized one, we can say, at Talladega, not a big one, but still going to take out a handful of cars.
Corbin Tapp's got a pretty good look at this wreck. And that's just the experience of a good super speedway racer. The instant reflexes to get on the brakes once the 58 went around in front of him, and you saw down there on the inside, Holly Martin just shoots right through the wreck, hopes she gets through it, and she did. So that was a bit of a difference between the two McPicky Motorsports cars, but they both got out of it anyway. So, just different methods for the same result. Welcome back here at Talladega Super Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the race. We're going to have a restart on lap number 9. We have 3 cars out of the race, Darren Walker, Damon Kirby, and Andrew Kreider. We've got a few others that are on DVP watch, including the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck and the 52 of Ashley Blake. But it's 3 Hondas up at the front, Charlie McCarron, Tamarin Bellinger, and Cooper Spur. You've got the 18 of Zach Dearman in 4th. And then the new fiancés of Karina Willis-Callaway and the 42 of Lulu Connie. Kate Summers, James Harvin, Tyler Landry, and Adrian Pearson round out the top 10. As McCarron will lead them back to the green. We are back underway here at Talladega. Good restart from the 85, but you don't want to get too far out ahead, otherwise they're going to get a run on you. Dearman's going to get past the 24 of Cooper Spur, and the Connie Twins Motorsports cars of the 41 and 42 are also going to go underneath the 24. There's a bit more shuffling around further back in the pack between these cars. Holly Martin, who I believe floored it right through that first accident, is now up here in the fold. And the 79 and 52 look like they're very
Oh,
off the
good lord.
pace. So I don't think they're going to be staying on the track for that much longer. The 9 of Lori Jackson, I don't even think is that slow. I think she just got held up by them. So that's a shame for her. And here we go for the race lead. Karina Willis-Callaway tried to go down with the 18, but didn't have the room to do it. Here comes Zach Dearman to the inside of Charlie McCarron. He's already got 3 wins this season. Win number 4 would be a record. And he's going to beat the 85 to the line there to lead the lap. But here comes James Harvin, who I pointed out as a prime candidate to win his first race here today. He's moved his way up to second with Tyler Landry and Adrian Pearson in tow.
Pearson and Wheeler on the inside line, followed by Cooper Spur, and I believe that's Kate Summers in the 92. And here comes Harvin, going to look for the lead. James Harvin on the inside of Zach Dearman in turn number 3 will take the lead in search of his first career win. Imagine if it comes here today. What a story that would be to continue the streak.
Here comes Pearson to the inside, another driver who's looking for her first career win. Her story of chasing a win has been very well documented throughout her years in LSCI, but she's going to drift up the racetrack after leading that lap. And now Adrian Wheeler and Kate Summers are making some moves on the inside, and Cooper Spur, who did not have a very good restarts, found himself back up into the top 5 again. And this pack looks like, again, Holly Martin's barely hanging on to it. That 6 car definitely seems to have something wrong with it. There's about 28 cars in the lead pack. And again, we're going to have to keep an eye on the 52 and 79. Summers will move into second. She has finished second in this race before. And she's also finished second in the Lumen 500, so Summers has had some good results on the super speedways as well. She's the only Pacific Racing car in the race, so she's kind of flying solo here today. That hasn't stopped her from going up to second, and here comes Isabella Fitzmaurice in third, the part-time driver for Patriot Racing. Gonna try and go to second. The super speedway specialist has found her way up here. She's also finished second in this race.
What a move by Fitzmaurice, now behind Adrian Wheeler. And now going to look for the lead is Isabella Fitzmaurice. What a day. This could be the 01 car. Going to go up into the lead here at Talladega, pushed by the 41. And here comes the 85 of Charlie McCarron once again. Jake Sidney. And here comes the points leader, Tim Berry, in the 11 as well.
Berry fourth on the inside lane with Akia Tajima and Simon Lawrenson behind. Here comes the 19 down low, going on the 85 for second, trying to sweep the super speedways this season. And Lawrenson's going to try and make it 4 wide going into turn 1, but he did not have the momentum. They're 4 wide further back in the pack. The 18, the 66, and the 50, as well as Karina Willis-Callaway. Things are getting antsy here in this pack, but it's still Isabella Fitzmaurice at the front. Gonna check the speed of this car. Oh, that is the easiest DVP I've ever had to hand out. Hollenbeck's day is going to end here. Here comes Tajima and Lawrenson down on the inside lane. Simon Lawrenson finished in the top 5 both times he's run here at Talladega, including a win. He's going to try and make it 3 years in a row a top 5 for Lawrenson.
Still a long ways to go, though. 25 laps to go here at Talladega. Here comes the 3 of George Bryan now. First time we've seen him here today. Up in the front, Kevin DuPont up in third behind Tajima. A lot of drivers we haven't really seen so far today. They're up in the top 5 with 25 to go. Isabella Fitzmaurice, though, still leading the race as DuPont's going to try and take second from Tajima. And we'll have help from Tyler Landry as they go through 3 and 4 here.
Landry, Ludo Connie, the 81 of Jack Gino. Lots of cars down there on the inside, only 2 up on the outside. And more cars are going to provide more momentum. They're going to fan out on the front straightaway, though. Kevin DuPont is going to move up to second. Landry up to third. Gino will probably go up to fourth. Corbin Taps is trying to make his way through the pack as well. The 01 has kept the lead for a few laps here. I mean, this is one of the best super speedway teams with someone who's generally really good on the super speedway. So, I mean, we kind of knew this pairing, once they announced it in the offseason, would do some damage on the super speedways. This is her last shot in this 01 car, so you got to think that she's going to get pretty desperate here to try and write her name into history as a Cup Series winner. Jack Gino, though, going to take them 3 wide, and he's going to move up to second. That's going to allow a lane for Corbin Taps to make up some spots as well.
Fantastic move in 3 and 4 there by Jack Gino and Corbin Taps. Top 5 broke away for a split second, but now they're back together as now Lulu Connie in the 42 is going to try and move into third, but gets cut off by Corbin Taps as the 81 and the 01 kind of broke away there for a split second, but now getting reeled back in by the 16 of Taps. And you can see it's getting a bit calmer at the front maybe. Here comes the 18 of Dearman, though. Going to try and move in the 4th place on Connie.
Connie shuts the door on him. They tried to tandem away the 01 and the 81, but that only works for so long. Here comes the 16 of Corbin Taps, but Lulu's going to make the move before he does. She doesn't have any help down there, and she's not going to be able to get underneath. She had a good shot at it, but just no help down there on the inside lane. Now the help is coming. If she can jump down there, maybe she'll be able to get past him here, but again, they stay single file. They are jostling around back here, the 50 and the 40. What is the 40 doing? That was a big block there on the 1 of Kevin DuPont. Very risky. But he's going to make it work out. And we've got this pack of 3. They're all running about 186, 187 off the pace. This lead pack is over 200 miles an hour. Ooh, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one to call. They might end up being DVP'd as well, but here we go. Pass for the lead. Jack Gino in the 81. With the help from George Bryan and Tim Berry. Gino's going to try and get the lead in the Hudson Motorsports machine. And they're going to go 3 wide for second between the 3 Chevrolets. Fitzmaurice is going to get kicked up to the outside. And Berry's going to move into second.
Bryan almost had a move for the lead made, but Berry was able to move him out of the way and take second for himself. Now he's chasing down Jack Gino with 21 laps to go. See James Harvin there leading the inside line.
Watch out. That was
close.
No. The 27 and 16 almost hooked each other. Going into turn 3, that was almost an accident, but they kept it together.
Just barely kept it together, it seemed like. Good Lord. Now the 85 McCarran up here as well behind Jacob Lopez as Berry is all over the back of the 81. Connie looking to the inside, but still no help for the 42 car. It's going to send the 45 up the track and out of this lead pack for a moment here.
We're starting to see some single file racing here at Talladega, which is something we see in real life quite a bit, but not so much in the game. The top 10 are all single file, but not for long. Here comes the 11 of Tim Berry and the 50 of Jacob Lopez, all getting underneath the 81 and the 42, and move the 11 of Berry up to the front here at Talladega. You've got McCarran and Lawrenson down there on the inside. Lopez, though, your pole sitter, is going to try and take the lead away with a pass on the 11 car. Here comes the help from Lawrenson and Karina Willis-Callaway. Karina tried to look 4 wide. She's going to make it 4 wide. Oh, Lawrenson's leading on the side of Charlie McCarran. Once again, they're going to keep it clean. Here comes the 41, barnstorming in on the inside lane. She's going to try and go for the lead. She led a couple laps earlier, so we know this car is fast. But she's up on the outside. I think Harvin is going to get underneath her for second. Dearman's going to try and get under them both, though, going into turn number 3. Almost 4 wide again. We might end up being 4 wide again. That's 2
Tim
rows
Berry
of
on the
wide
outside.
in turn 4.
Oh, God.
Are they going to make it work? You can go 4 wide for a little bit, but it is pushing it.
Oh, I thought they were about to go 5 wide.
Adrian Wheeler going 3 wide for the lead. Is Fitzmaurice going to try and make it 4? She almost
This
did.
is insanity. This is just pure insanity. Just past halfway at Talladega, Adrian Wheeler comes out with the lead. Fitzmaurice second, and I believe that's the 3 of Bryan, third on the inside. There's so much happening.
Here comes
My
Pearson.
word. Oh, goodness. It just keeps going.
Pearson has won.
Fitzmaurice takes the lead.
She has won top 10 all year in this 27 car. And she's having a run for the ages here at Talladega, but here comes Landry on the inside. Billy Smith, Corbin Taps, all making their move down on the bottom. This is the most cycle race that we've seen all season. And I think these drivers are going fast enough to avoid the DVP. They're 4 wide again. Oh, the 40 and the 3 are getting really close. I don't like the 3 leaning on his quarter panel. He's going to move down just a little bit to give him some room, though. But Isabella Fitzmaurice has found herself in first once again.
I would not be surprised if they wreck when they have to come to pit road in about 4 or 5 laps time. That could be a massive problem. Or maybe they're pitting here.
Oh, they might be. Oh, a couple
No,
of
they're
them are
not.
the 27.
Oh, yes, they are.
It's just the 27, though. That is scheduled. Adrian Pearson trying an undercut. That held up a lot of the pack, though. And we've got this group of cars that have kind of pulled away, and that's exactly what these guys back here didn't want to see. Barry is one of the drivers back here, so that is something to keep an eye on. In terms of the championship, Pearson was the only one to come down, and that's not what you want to do. You want to pit with friends. Otherwise, you're going to be left without the draft when you come back onto the racetrack.
That's a bit unusual, especially when you're in the middle of the pack like that, to just hold them up that badly. We're going to have a lot more cars coming in here, though. Fitzmaurice, Chanot, Landry, McCarron, Wheeler, Connie, Summers. A lot of cars coming into the pits here, lap 23.
Still got some that stayed out. Akia Tajima will lead that lap. They're going 3 wide for second. I don't think that's very necessary at this point in the race. Karina Willis-Callaway going to move into second. We've got a group of 5 here. Then we got a group of 4 here. And then we got everybody else just waiting for their pit stop. They're probably going to come in next time by, I'd imagine. But so far, the pit sequence has been pretty clean and green, so that is something you want to see. The last thing you want to see, especially after last week's shenanigans, is a pit cycle caution. Fitzmaurice will lead this group out of the pit lane, and we're going to watch the rest of them as they stay out a little bit longer. I think some of those cars, the 41, 3, and 24 are going to come in. There are some of those cars that did pit under yellow, so they will have to pit a little bit later. Pit strategy at Talladega is not something that I was expecting, but it looks like that's the reality of the situation here, as the 19 and the 99 are going to fight each other for the lead.
And there's the 27 of Adrian Pearson, who is a lap down at the moment. A lot of cars actually going a lap down here. As you can see, Sydney trying to make a move on the 27. Maybe this is the time to pit if you're the 1999 88. Oh, they're getting held up here by the 40 and 42. Are they going to pit? No, they're not. So I guess these guys did come into the pits on the first caution.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind for this pit sequence is that there are a lot of cars that are going to be merging on the back straightaway in front of these guys, and they're going to have to weave around them. We got a couple more pitters here. Holly Martin, Corbin Taps, the 18 of Zach Dearman, and we've got a few more rejoining the racetrack, so that's something you got to watch out for. As the cycle goes through, Bellinger, Buchanan, Cooper Spur all leading the pits right now. Billy Smith going to try and pass for the lead. Tajima's going to go 3 wide for the lead, but that's not the best move because the 2 cars in the way.
Oh!
He's going to get held up. I think Billy Smith is going to get the lead out of all of that. And we'll have to see how long it takes for the rest of these cars to pit. I don't think they can go more than about 3 more laps on that fuel. They'll probably be in by lap 29 or 30. They definitely can't make it to the end, so we'll have to see how this plays out with them having to bob and weave through all these... Oh, that was almost an accident. The 70 and the 24 got together, but they kept it together. But we'll have to see how this ends up playing a factor in this race due to all these cars having to weave around the lap traffic. This is ridiculous.
I've never seen something like this at Talladega. Like, I've never seen the pit cycle get strung out over this many laps. It is very odd, but very entertaining, to say the least.
Oh,
Like, this
Billy
is just
Smith.
unbelievable. Oh, in the pits!
Smith, Barry, Gino, Lawrenson, and Herndon all pitting this lap. Sydney and Tajima are both still out there. And they're also mixed in with that slower pack that I pointed out, who isn't that much slower, but still could play a factor here. The one car also still has to pit, so does the 50 of Lopez and the 77 of Boyd and the 57 of Everett. I believe these are the last cars that have to pit, the top 6. And you might see them come in this time, definitely by next lap though. But Tajima doesn't really have a path to the pits. Well, now he does. And it looks like he is going to come in. Here he comes with the 9, the 52, and yes, everybody else that has to pit is coming in now.
So now it's a matter of who leads the cycle.
Here's Billy Smith leading his group with Tim Berry and Lawrenson. Isabella Fitzmaurice is leading this pack right now. They've got a head of steam here with Corbin Taps and Tyler Landry. We'll see how they cycle out. Taps is going to try and pass the 01 for the lead on the inside lane. Again, I don't know if you want to do that right now because actually the 88 and the 11 are pretty far ahead of this group, so this might work out here for Taps. But let's keep an eye on this group. Here they come, leaving the pits. The 1 of Kevin DuPont looks like he got out ahead in this group. Slow pit stop for the 77 and the 50.
Actually, the 57 is currently leading the race. Shauna Everett, I believe that is.
She came across the line first. I don't know where she is right now. I think she is leaving the pits well behind these drivers. Actually, here she is. She hasn't pitted yet.
She's betting on a caution, which I respect, you know?
Yeah, you know, Shauna Everett, she's gotten close to winning a few times. Maybe she's going to hope that a little bit of luck comes her way. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to pit this time by. I'm surprised that she stayed out for that long, but I think this should... Yeah, here she comes. This should be the lap she pits, and then we'll be all cycled out. And once they do cycle out, it looks like Tim Berry is going to be your leader. Where's the 88? Oh, he's in the back of the pack now, but this pack is still... I mean, considering how spread out the cycle was, this pack is still pretty intact. We've still got several cars that are still in this thing. And they're going to catch up to Tim Berry because he's all by himself.
And we've also got the lap car 58, Joanna Clark, right ahead of us. It'll be 8 laps to go when they get to the line here at Talladega. So you know this race is nowhere near done. It's all about to kick off here at the very end.
Berry moves to the outside to try and get by Clark. Clark's going to hold up the 85. Now she's going to move up and hold up the 42. And the 01's going to force the issue. They're 4 wide. Here comes the rest of that kind of trailing pack. They're all going to be grouped together. We're going to have to see how many cars are in this pack because there's quite a few of them. All the way back to Jack Gino. I don't like how this pack is looking, though. They're very antsy here. And it looks like we've got... Well, it looks like the running order hasn't cycled out yet. Where is the 57? There she is. It looks like she might join this pack as well. She probably had to take less fuel.
Actually, I was going to say, that may have worked out perfectly for Shauna Everett. She might actually be in this thing.
Bit of a break in the pack formed by the slower 58, but not enough to really break up the pack that much. So the last car in this pack is the 2, who's currently scored in 17th. We'll have to see where he is across the line here. He is 19th, so we've got 19 cars still in this thing if it goes green. And if we get a caution, that brings everybody else back into it. Corbin Taps looks like he is going for second here as Everett's still out ahead of this pack. But the pack's going to catch her because she's all by herself. So we'll have to see how well she can defend that lead. But look who's up here. Kate Summers is up here. Tamarin Bellinger is leading the middle line. And we've still got plenty of potential for upset winners here. Here they come, bearing down on the 57 of Shauna Everett. What is Everett to do? Nothing. She's going to get passed on the outside by Corbin Taps. Maybe she's trying to get a push on the inside lane. But that's not going to work out, and Corbin Taps is going to get the lead. with just 6 laps to go here at Talladega.
Blake and Herndon's up here as well in the 39, up to second place on Kate Summers. Makia Tajima behind Summers and Shauna Everett on the inside line. But here comes Jake Sidney now leading that inside line. Everett moves up, and we have a lap car ahead.
And now
here comes Herndon for the lead.
And his teammate goes
For the lead,
with
and here
him.
comes the 99.
The
3 wide behind him
Motorsports
as well.
Teammates. Almost 4 wide back there. Wheeler, they are 4 wide. Wheeler and Billy Smith.
Oh no.
Wheeler's gotten into a lot of close incidents here. Oh, McCarran, she's going to be just fine. The lap car ahead is the 6 of Holly Martin, I believe. Yes, it is. Tajima leads that lap. Columbia Motorsports only has 1 win this season back at Kansas, and it was Tajima that got it. But here comes the 92, Kate Summers, and the 27 of Adrian Pearson. Lots of Toyotas up here at the front late. We'll have to see which one of them ends up winning it. They're going to catch the 6 of Holly Martin, and she's going to hold up the inside lane. The 99, 92, and possibly 39 are all going to get by on the inside. The 81 and 27 made contact. This thing's getting crazy here at the end, and the top 3 are going to try and pull away.
It seems like they will pull away. They're coming up on 4 laps to go here at Talladega, and the 6 is still blocking. Actually, the 6 might be on pace with these guys. We'll see. But now this is another wrencher into this race. With the 6 car being involved, here comes Herndon going to look for second on the 92 of Summers. 3 wide behind him. DuPont on the inside line, pushed by Lawrence and the McCarran.
Here comes Simon Lawrenson once again trying to be the hero for Streamline Racing. He's going to move his way up into the top 5. Here comes Charlie McCarran and Nathan Buchanan on the inside lane. Where did he come from? He was at the back of the pack for most of the race, but he's found his way up into the top 10. Here comes the rest of the pack onto the 3 Toyotas, but it's the 2 Columbia Motorsports cars still out front. But Herndon does not want to work with the teammate. He wants the win for himself. They're coming to 3 laps to go here at Talladega in what is surely shaping up to be an all-time classic finish in LSCI.
DuPont peeked inside, right behind the number 39. Here comes the 70 of Lawrence and the 85 of McCarran. McCarran still yet to win a points race in the LSCI. Could this be the day for her? She's going to go down the inside, looking right behind Simon Lawrence. Oh my goodness.
Is he going to make it 3 wide
Lawrence
for the lead? Not quite.
4 wide, baby. Here comes the 85.
McCarran to the inside with help from Buchanan and the 01 of Fitzmaurice. They're still in it to score an upset win. Here comes Buchanan down to the inside. He won the amateur race at Daytona after almost spinning. And here he comes to the inside lane. 2 laps to go. Herndon still leads, but many hungry drivers are chasing him down. They're going to go 4 wide for second almost. Files back down to 3.
Nathan Buchanan pushed by Fitzmaurice, pushed by Bryan, pushed by Smith. A lot of Chevrolets on that inside line. Here comes Fitzmaurice looking to the inside. Adrian Wheeler leading the very bottom line as they come through into 3 and 4. Blake and Herndon still leading this race, but Fitzmaurice and Bryan may just have a... There's going to be 1 lap to go when they get to the line.
Fitzmaurice to the inside.
Fitzmaurice for the lead.
The 3 car goes up top. Adrian Wheeler is going to draft up to the back of the 01. Who's going to lead at the white flag? It's almost a dead heat across the line. 1 lap to go. Here comes the 01. She's got the help from Wheeler. Is Wheeler going to try and make the pass on her? Or will Fitzmaurice get her first career win in a part-time effort for Patriot Racing? Will the 40 try and look down to the inside? Billy Smith with a head of steam on the inside lane. Wheeler continues to push the 01. He might be setting up for the tri-oval. Remember, the start-finish line is not in the middle of the tri-oval. It's past pit exit in turn 1. But coming out of turn number 4, does Wheeler have enough of a run? I don't think he does. Wait, no, he's looking to the inside. They're going to drag race each other to the finish line, side by side. Who's going to win it? At the line, Adrian Wheeler gets the win by 8/1000ths of a second. Oh my goodness, he timed it perfect.
Unbelievable. Shades of Kevin Harvick! What a move by Adrian Wheeler! He's your winner at Talladega! I cannot believe it! What a finish to an incredible race!
The closest finish in LSCI history. 8/1000ths of a second. Adrian Wheeler gets career win number 2, and he does it in style. I thought Fitzmaurice had it going into the tri-oval. The 40 did not look like he was mounting a charge, but he got just enough of one to go alongside, and from there, it was a drag race. Wow, what a thriller here at Talladega. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna export as soon as possible because that was amazing.
Unbelievable. Never did I think the 40 had a chance there on that last lap. I really thought Fitzmaurice had that. I can only feel for her. It's a tale of two stories in the top two. Absolute elation on the 40 of Adrian Wheeler. Absolute heartbreak on the 01 of Fitzmaurice.
Yeah, Isabella Fitzmaurice, that could have been a career-defining win for her, but instead, it's heartbreak. And again, I think that's the second time that she's finished second in this race. She finished second to Simon Lawrenson when he won 2 years ago. Just heartbreak here at Talladega for Isabella Fitzmaurice, but still a great drive regardless by that 01 car. That was one of the fastest cars in the field, maybe the fastest car in the field. Just got beat off of an incredible move by Adrian Wheeler. Here's your top 10. Here's your finishing results in general. Adrian Wheeler, again, win number 2 of his career. Isabella Fitzmaurice second. Billy Smith makes it 2 Patriot Racing 8 cars in the top 3. Zach Dearman, Corbin Taps. How about Adrian Fearson with a top 10? Only her second one of the season. Great to see Fearson up front. George Bryan, Tim Berry, Charlie McCarron, Jake Sidney. And for the most part, all these guys are drivers they expect to see at the front, save for Fitzmaurice and Fearson. But, we had plenty of drivers that were contending for the win that you don't normally see. It's just that most of them didn't finish up there. They ended up getting shuffled out in the end. 27 cars finished on the lead lap. 31 cars finished the race. These 4 that did not were due to crash damage on lap 5. Hollenbeck's, of course, was a bit later than everyone else's, but still, relatively clean race at Talladega, aside from the one early accident. And Darian, I'm amazed by that finish. I knew that there was potential for a finish like that, but that's really the first time in 90 races that we've seen a photo finish quite that close in LSCI. Can you cobble together your thoughts on this race today?
Absolutely unbelievable. Like, that was unreal. I thought that finish was even closer than the 1000s to looking at it the first time, but yeah, what an incredible race it was. Not only to watch, but to commentate it once again. And just everything that happened from all the battles, all the 3 wide, all the 4 wide, as close as it got to 5 wide, the pit cycle shenanigans going all the way through for those 8 laps, and just unbelievable stuff all around here at Talladega. And yeah, I just cannot believe that finish. Adrian Wheeler, 8/1000ths of a second. It's going to be tough to beat that one.
And there you see your final margin on the screen right now. Wow, I am just amazed. And believe it or not, next week we go to Michigan, and that race could have the potential to top this one because Michigan is incredible in NR. Darian, what are you expecting for next week's race? Do you think it can top this? I mean, that's a high bar to clear, but if any track can do it, maybe it's Michigan.
Michigan, I know you said you always had good stuff here. I've always had it be a bit hit or miss, but I'm not saying it can't be fantastic. It could most definitely be unbelievable. But the only way we'll know is if you tune in next week, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. One more congratulations to Adrian Wheeler and Motor Racing Ventures on the win. That's the second win of the season for Motor Racing Ventures. The first one was Jacob Lopez back at Coda, which was also technically a last lap pass, albeit under pretty different circumstances at that that race ended with a game crash. We've had a lot of last lap passes this year. both in amateurs and in cup. I believe I have been keeping track of them, and I think this is the 8th one of 2025, which is just as many as we've had the previous 3 years combined. So the finishes this season have been legendary, and this one might be the best one out of all of them. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this race. I sure hope you enjoyed it because I definitely did. Thank you to Darian for joining me in the booth, and on behalf of Darian Arnsdorf, this is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network signing out. Here are your point standings after race number 22 of 28, which will be on your screen right now.